ahead and get started. So what I want to talk about today are a couple of things. One, what I do as a coach. Two, weight loss, emotional eating, how I do all of that, why I changed the title of my program, and why I no longer tell people what I think they should eat or how they should exercise. And then at the end, I have a very special giveaway for anyone who tunes in. So go ahead and drop any questions if you have any throughout my training. This should only take about 10-15 minutes or less. So what I do as a coach, I help people lose weight, I help people stop emotional eating, and I help people really develop a really strong sense of self-love for themselves. Now, when I talk about self-love, I'm not talking about like looking in the mirror and absolutely loving everything that you see. It's perfectly okay to want to change the way that you look. I know a lot of people are feeling very pressured to look a certain way, and not only look a certain way, but feeling pressured to love themselves. And they say, I know I should be loving myself, but I don't. That's not what self-love means to me. Self-love to me means understanding all parts of yourself and learning how to be very compassionate with yourself. Because when you are able to be compassionate with all of your shadow sides and all of your emotions, that's when you stop turning to food. That's when you stop self-sabotaging. That's when you can really create a life and a body that you are really thrilled about. So let's talk about how to lose weight and keep it off for good, and how to stop emotional eating, and the 4 pillars of my practice. So the first one is connection. We as humans are very disconnected from our bodies. We're always using technology, but more so we're very stuck in our mind. And our mind is like a monkey mind, right? Like, I'm sure some days you just can't get out of your head and you feel so stressed and anxious. And our minds aren't our healers. Our bodies are our healers. So think about a time you've ever gotten a cut on your arm. Your body is what healed your cut, right? Like, you could use your mind to put Neosporin on it or to make it worse. But ultimately, your body is the healer, right? So that's the same thing with weight loss and emotional eating. Your body wants to heal you, but when we're always fighting our mind, fighting food, fighting our bodies, fighting the gym, it's gonna make it a lot harder. What we resist persists. That means anything that we're resisting, it's gonna grow and grow and grow, and it's gonna make it harder. Think about a time like if you've ever been on a diet and you're trying to not eat the cookie, right? And you're like, don't eat the cookie, don't eat the cookie, don't eat the cookie. And then you go in the kitchen and what do? You don't just eat the cookie, you eat like 10 of them, right? And that's because you're fighting your mind, you're fighting the food, and that resistance grew. So when we can connect back to our bodies and allow our bodies to give us the answers, there's something called your intuition, which I dive into a lot with my clients, and this is that innate intelligence within. It's what heals your arm when you get a cut, right? And it's what gives you that gut feeling of, if you're ever in a scenario when there's something very scary going on, right? And you get that gut feeling like, I need to get out of there. But when you're not truly connected to your body, there's a disconnect between your body and your mind, right? Because your mind can convince you to be scared and feel that gut feeling. So what you really need to do is tune into your body. And I do this with breathing techniques and meditation and some other activities that really help you understand the visceral feeling between an emotional hunger cue and a physical hunger cue. So that brings me to emotions. The second pillar are emotions. The reason that we eat not for health or hunger, food is meant for health and hunger, right? And when we eat not for health and hunger, we are doing it because of an emotional reason. And when you think about emotional eating, it's not always like Sarah Jessica Parker crying and eating ice cream, right? I used to think I wasn't an emotional eater because anytime I would cry, I would have a pit in my stomach and I wouldn't be hungry. But emotional eating is boredom eating. It's eating when you're angry, stressed. If you're studying for an exam and you have your hands in the chips, that's emotional eating. Eating at a celebration like birthday cake, that's emotional eating. It's anytime you're eating not for health and hunger. Now, is it bad to eat cake to celebrate? No, not at all. But it turns into a problem when you can't stop, when you're trying to lose weight and you can't stop, when all you can do is think about the food, when you're turning to it every single night and you don't know why, right? That is all due to your emotions. And the reason that we turn to food instead of just processing our emotions naturally is because we don't want to feel them. Emotions mean energy and motion. It's just energy in your body that needs to move through and out of you. They can come up from, yes, getting in an argument, you can feel nasty emotions, but you also have a lot of emotions in your body from when you were very young. And whenever you start to change, they just naturally will want to come out of your body. But when you start to feel them, what do? You run, right? You run or you numb. Numbing is through food, and so is running, because as humans, we are biologically wired to run from pain to pleasure. From pain to pleasure. So if you're feeling sadness, anger, jealousy, stress, overwhelm, guilt, depression, fear, those are all painful and we don't want to feel them. So what do? We run to pleasure. We run to the food. It gives off dopamine releases, which make us feel good biologically. And it also is tied to happy feel-good events, right? Back to the birthday cake and eating. So it's so normal that we turn to food when we don't want to feel these emotions. And it's so normal that we tend to run from them if we don't understand them. But to understand them better, I'm going to tell you a little bit about emotions. So emotions are valuable messages from your body. So back to that connection to your body. Your mind sometimes tries to come up with the best thing to do, right? But your body has all the answers, and that intuitive intelligence that we all have as human beings, it's connected to our soul, right? Our soul wants the best for us. It knows what is right or wrong for our bodies, but our minds can mess with that. So when we feel emotions, those are just valuable messages. And when you can learn to tolerate them, change your relationship to them so that you don't run from them, but you just feel them and understand what it's telling you and allow that emotion to be expressed, whether it's through crying if you need to cry, punching your pillows, dancing, or just breathing. Scientists say that in 90 seconds of just deep breathing, you can feel the emotion come through and out of you. But some of us are just so quick to, as soon as we feel triggered a little, we run to grab food or we do something else to numb it out. So that's the second pillar, emotions. The third pillar is meeting your needs. So we all have 6 core human needs. We're meeting them all the time. And a lot of us are meeting them in negative ways. So one core human need that we are meeting is certainty. So a lot of us love to stay stuck in our struggle. Not because necessarily it feels good, right? If you're binge eating, emotional eating, or you're overweight, you might be a little triggered by me saying that, wondering how in the world could I love being in my struggle? But you need certainty. It's a human need. So if you're afraid of, okay, what might happen if I do lose the weight? What might happen if I do stop emotional eating? Like, what would I be obsessed with? What would I spend all my free time doing? Will I have to step outside of my comfort zone and do all these other scary experiences, right? So you're certain that you're safe. Even though you might want to lose weight or stop emotional eating, you're certain that you have that comfort of being in your struggle. Another need that we meet is uncertainty. So this happens a lot with binge eating. If you're eating really healthy all day long and it's like bland broccoli and chicken and you get bored of that, you need variety and uncertainty. So at night, you go and you binge on the cookies, pizza, pasta, ice cream, right? That's a way of meeting that need. So when we can understand, become aware of how are we meeting our 6 core human needs and how can we meet them in more positive ways, that's when the emotional eating and the weight loss starts to happen. And another cool thing about emotions, and back to how I mentioned how we have emotions that are trapped inside our body, well, those emotions actually can manifest as weight on our body, as physical fat on our body. So I've witnessed client after client, I've heard many stories of people who start to get out of their minds and into their body and just expressing their emotions, and the weight just starts to shed off, okay? So if you're having trouble losing weight and you're doing all the diets and you're doing all the workouts and it's not coming off, it might be because of an emotional reason. So the third pillar, that was a third. So the fourth pillar is mastering your energy. So if you saw on my Instagram story yesterday, I was talking a lot about manifesting. And I think if you've ever heard the term manifesting, you might picture someone like zenned out with a bunch of crystals and like meditating under the moon. And while yes, people do this, that's not what I mean when I say manifesting. Everyone can manifest weight loss. In fact, everyone already is manifesting what they have. And when I say manifest, if you don't know what that means, it just means to create or to bring to be in your life. So how are we all manifesting what it is that we desire? It's through our energy and it's through our beliefs. So let me talk a little bit about energy first. In order to create what it is that you desire, you need to feel like it's possible for you, and you need to feel how it would feel now. So a great example of this is if you've ever had a bad day and you roll out of bed and you get off on the wrong side of the bed, and then you're brushing your teeth and the toothpaste falls on your shirt, and then you forgot to start your breakfast, so you're running late, and then you hit all the traffic, and then it's just like one thing after the other, and you're just at such like a low vibration, right? Feeling like hunched over, like depressed, sad, like that's your energy. And I'm sure you've noticed other people feeling that way, right? And it doesn't feel very good to be around them always, right? That's a very low vibration energy. And what happens is when you can raise, and down here you could be like, I'm not losing weight, I'm still emotional eating, like I don't know if I can even do this, it's not possible for me, thinking all these negative thoughts. But then you can raise your vibration, raise your energy to, okay, this is what I desire, how can I feel this way right now? How can I feel like I've lost the weight and I've stopped emotional eating and it's all possible for me, it's happening for me, it's happening in my best interest and my greatest good. Then you start to feel better, you start to feel more energized, you start to want to go to the gym, you start to believe that you can stick to the diets, right? Because you're feeling good. It's so much easier to stick to the plan of action and do the things necessary to get you to where you want to be when you're in this higher energetic state, okay? So master your energy, that was the fourth. And then the fifth is master your mind. So when I talk about beliefs really are the core of everything in your life, everything you manifest, everything that you are doing every single day, your weight, your health habits, everything has to do with your core beliefs. So there's something called BTFAR. It's BTFAR. What this means is your beliefs turn into your thoughts, which turn into your feelings, which turn into your actions, which turn into your reality. So belief, thoughts, feelings, actions, reality. And what you can really do, and you can do this with yourself today, is think about something in your life that you don't love happening, and then trace back, what is my core belief around that thing happening? Because a lot of us who are trying to lose weight or stop emotional eating or binge eating have very fear-based core thoughts, or we don't believe it's possible for it to happen. And that is why the reality is that you're still doing that behavior, or you haven't lost the weight. Okay? So I'm going to give you an example of this in my own life. If you've looked at my story, you know that I had an eating disorder. I suffered from an eating disorder for about 5 years. And after I healed my eating disorder, and by that I don't mean I completely got rid of it. No one gets rid of anything they suffered, but I changed my relationship to my food and myself, and I never turn to food in the way I did before. I never have those thoughts that I did with my eating disorder. But when I healed my relationship with my food, I still found myself like, okay, so health is something that I value very much. I value how it makes me feel eating healthy. I value how it gives me so much energy, how it gives me clear skin, a body that I really like. So eating healthy is of high value to me, and I've always really wanted to eat really healthy. And after I healed my relationship with food, a part of me didn't believe that I could eat healthy and have really, really healthy goals and not fall back into my eating disorder mindset. So what was my result? My result was that I was eating less healthy foods multiple times a week. But I didn't even realize that that was my core belief. I was just going through the motions, and I was eating I was indulging a lot. And while I think that's important, that is not ever what your intuition or higher self will tell you. Your intuition will never tell you, go eat the sugar-filled ice cream. That can be a predetermined treat that you give yourself with absolutely no guilt. That's absolutely fine. But your intuition will never tell you to go eat those unhealthy foods because they're not good for you. So I knew I was still emotional eating or eating less healthy, and I didn't understand why. And then I traced back, okay, what is my core belief around health, eating healthy? And I realized, oh my gosh, I have this huge fear of spiraling back to my eating disorder if I have these really high health goals and body goals. And once I realized that, I was like, okay, you know what? I can change my belief so that my actions change. So what did I change my belief? My fear-based belief? I changed it into a love-based belief. I changed it to, okay, I can eat, what was my belief? I changed it to, healthy food is of the highest service for me. It is one of the greatest gifts that I can give myself to eat healthy. It is honoring my intuition and is one of the most loving things that I can do for myself. And what happened when I changed that core belief around food? It's rooted in love now instead of fear. I'm holding my belief right here. When I changed my belief that was rooted in fear, my actions completely changed. Immediately, I no longer craved unhealthy foods. It was so easy for me to eat healthy consistently, and my eating disorder mindset never came back. So why am I explaining this to you? I'm explaining this to you to show you how your beliefs directly impact your results and your life. And I see a lot of people who coach people with eating disorders or binge eating, and they're always showing them hey, I'm eating all these Doritos and these Twizzlers, and you can do this too, guilt-free. And yes, that is awesome. I do that. I do it, and it's completely guilt-free, literally never any guilt, and it feels great because if you've been there, you know how that feels, to feel so ashamed of it. But it's also okay to want a certain body and to eat healthy if that's something that you value. There's no shame in that, and everything comes down to your beliefs. So it's one thing to like think it, it's another thing to really integrate that belief into your system and embody it. So that's what I do with my clients. We do different embodiment work so that you actually truly believe that what you desire is not only possible for you, but it's happening right now. Whenever you can master your connection, your emotions, meeting your needs, mastering your energy, and mastering your mind and your beliefs, you can become the observer of your thoughts, and you can change your belief system. Whenever you master those 5 elements, not only will you lose all the weight and keep it off, not only will you stop emotional and binge eating and no longer turn to that to numb out your emotions, but your entire life will change. If you haven't gathered already, weight loss and emotional eating and binge eating are so much more than about the food in the body. So much more. It's all about the internal work, the belief systems, the connection to the body, how you react to certain scenarios and situations. Do you identify with your mind, or do you become the observer of your thoughts? It's so much more than just fighting the food and fighting your body. And whenever you can master those 5 elements, not only do you master your health, but the rest of your life just falls into place. I've had multiple clients achieve their dream jobs, and I've had them shed weight just like that from doing the emotional work. And I've had them turn from really toxic relationships to owning their worth and seeking out and creating very, very passionate love affairs and relationships. And people are mending and healing relationships in their lives. Like everything that those 5 elements master don't only master your health, they help you master your life. They help you step into your power, become confident, and feel worthy to live a life that feels good for you. So I want you to reflect and ask yourself, what are my core beliefs around where I am? Do I believe it's possible for me to lose the weight or to stop the emotional eating? What is my connection to my body? Am I living in my mind, trying to fight food in my body? Because if you have been trying to accomplish these goals for a long time and you still haven't, if it's been months, years, or decades, and you're still searching for the next diet, you're still searching for the next workout plan, then you need to go inward. It is nothing on the outside that's going to help you. You need to go inward, do the internal work, and watch the outside just magically change. What is so cool about doing the internal work is that your world around you just starts to shift and change, and everything that you want just starts to happen. Okay? If you want to feel like that bliss and that confidence and that peace, you're not going to get it from chasing the next diet and the next workout plan. You're going to get it from within. And that's what I help my clients do. And it's so awesome. I just had this one client the other day. She has been working with me for a couple weeks, and she came in emotional eating. Like all she was focused on was her weight loss and her emotional eating. And within a couple weeks, we dug into a main thing that is driving her to pushing her to emotional eat is that she has this deep calling inside of herself to write. She loves to write, but she's been so afraid of judgments and of perfectionism. And she's not afraid of perfectionism. She is a perfectionist. So she's been critical of herself, and she's afraid to write because of what people might think. And what's so cool, what I love about my job, is uncovering these fears that people have and realizing, okay, when you can step into your worth. And when you can start owning that part of yourself, she no longer feels like that little pull to emotional eat when she thinks about writing, which is just, it's so cool. So let's see, what else was I going to share with you guys? This is why I changed the name of my program to Soulfully Me, Fill Your Soul Up First, and why I no longer give out diets or workout plans. Yes, I do help my clients figure out what healthy eating or workout is best for them, but I no longer prescribe them because we all have different bodies, and whenever I had clients in my last program where I did give that out, none of them necessarily stuck to it to a T. They all wanted to change it and do their own kind of thing. And the feedback that I got that was so incredible from that first program wasn't from the diet or workout plan. It was from all the mindset work and from all of the embodiment work and connecting back to ourselves, all of that stuff, and the self-love. So that is why I created a new program that was purely focused on internal work and finding the best healthy lifestyle that works for you. That's why I changed the title of my program and shifted my program. If you've been following me for a while, you'll know what I'm talking about. So yeah, all right, let's see. Let's hold questions to the end. 2 more things. If this spoke to you, if you want to master these 5 elements of your life, finally step into your power, stop emotional eating, stop binge eating, and lose the weight for good, I invite you to click the link in my bio, schedule a free strategy call with me, completely free, no pressure. I want to hop on the phone with you and figure out, okay, what are your goals? Why exactly are you doing this? And create a step-by-step strategy plan that will best suit you, okay? So go ahead and click that link in the bio. And for the free giveaway, I'm so excited to announce that I've been creating a ton of meditations. So if you would like a free weight loss and peace around food meditation, a meditation that will help you lose weight and feel peaceful around food, go ahead and shoot me a direct message. Send me your email in a direct message and tell me that you want that, and I will be more than happy to give that out to you completely free of charge. Can't wait to hear what you think about it.